Actually, I'm going to start with some scripture. Uh, this is 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be diligent, for your adversary, the devil, prowls around us like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him firm in your faith, knowing that the same experience of suffering is required of your brotherhood throughout the world. And after you have suffered a little while, then God, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, establish, and strengthen you. To him be the dominion forever and ever. Amen." And that scripture, it's one that stuck with me over the last several years, that I've really taken on my addiction problems. I don't know. We have a pastor that comes sometimes, and he'll say, this is either the biggest hoax of all time, or it's the truth. And I believe it to be the truth. It's the way, it's the life, and it's been proven to me because I see God, and I've seen how he's worked in other people's lives. Vance, for example, not to throw you under the bus, Vance, but Vance, when he finally came to Ndtc, he was 45, and I'm 35. So when I'm that age, Vance, I hope not to be, but I'm very blessed to be where I'm at. Very blessed. I'll just give you a brief past. Let's see, my parents were divorced when I was 2. Both of my parents they're career people, but they're both alcoholics. My environment was, that was the normal. I think even my dad had some dealings in drugs and stuff, but, both are very, they're very active adults, and but they drink, I don't think they drink to the extent that I did, but, it's definitely there. So to me, that was kind of the norm. I mean, I remember even my grandpa just giving me, he would every once in a while give me a sip out of his beer, And I grew up in the church, and we'd all went to church, and I know that my parents and my grandparents have faith, but it was almost kind of like they were playing church, except for my grandmas. Both of my grandmas have been a huge spiritual influence in me throughout my life. But about 4 years ago, now about 3 years ago, I had pretty much tried anything. Like Vance said, I tried any of the secular programs, the meetings. I've done outpatient. I've done just about anything you can do to stop outside of going to inpatient. About 3 years ago, I quit my career. I was going to school. I quit school and just knew that, I had 2 beautiful kids at this point, and my reality every day was I'd wake up and I'd look at my 2 kids and I'd say, if I keep continuing what I'm doing, I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to be there for them. I'm not going to see them graduate. I'm not going to see my daughter get ready for her first, dance. I mean, I'm going to miss all this stuff, because I knew I was so bad off that it was just a matter of time. And growing up in the faith, when you have something that has that much power over you, it's hard to be strong in faith.
Sure.
I believed in God. My family would tell me I was always spiritual, but and honest to God, I've been sober. This is, I'll tell you about how much treatment I've had, but it's been tough, guys. This is probably the hardest thing that we will ever do personally, ever. Not the hardest thing we may go through, but the hardest thing we'll ever do. And what I love about Ndtc is I've seen a lot of people come, I've seen a lot of people go, even in the secular programs. I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go, I've seen several die. But what's different about this, when I go to a secular program, I did 3 previous inpatients from Ndtc, and I would go in with my Bible, because we have group now, and they'd say, well, you need to find a higher power. So I'd bring my Bible, and God is my higher power. I believe in Jesus Christ, he's my higher power. And I would break out scripture, and man, they just shunned it. I mean, they just said, we don't even want to hear it. And even my daughter at school, and luckily my daughter, she's my wife's mom, has really helped her. She loves the Lord. She's grown up in it, and but she, they told her, because I guess she was speaking on it. They said, well, we can't, from what I believe they don't even do the Pledge of Allegiance anymore, you know, and that's scary. But it's been a long, hard road, and I can tell you this, relapse, people don't understand, unless you're an addict, you're never gonna get it, and if you're not, and you've never been truly addicted to something, or substance, or even me, I'll justify it, well, you know, I'll just eat this whole apple pie, but at least I'm not drinking tonight. You know, and that's what's going through my mind now. I've been sober for a while, but I don't really do that thing. Yeah, I mean, I would say it takes 1 second, you know. I look at the generations, I look at my grandparents' generations, I look at my parents, and the whole understanding of it. I mean, treatment 20-some, 25, 30 years ago it wasn't real prevalent. And so a lot of people look down on it, and I think it's not necessarily the addiction, but the symptoms that occur because of the addiction, which is messed up careers, broken homes, people having to take time out of their life to come to treatment. But I can tell you this, the guys I've met, and especially the guys I've met at Ndtc, I probably only have one from the few secular programs I did that I keep in contact with. But the guys, they're all just wonderful guys. I mean, if there was a car broke down, they'd be the first ones out there, you know. And I feel bad because I don't want the world's going to think what they want. But I don't want them to think down on these guys. I don't want, you know, because I know if you talk to somebody, some of these guys have some of the biggest hearts you could ever meet. Sure. It's just the addiction came on, and once it takes you over, I believe to be a strong individual. I thought I was. You know, it's hard for me to look back now and think, man, I actually let a substance come have that kind of control over me, you know, that I would rather, instead of go to, you know, my daughter's dance or something, dance recital or something, I would, well, you know, that would be my time to, because I pulled it off for a long time, but I didn't do it around the kids, I don't remember the last time I was at a bar. But it's just tough, guys, that's all I can tell you. And Vance will tell you, if you're ever going to get serious in your life, now's the time. This is our chance. This might be our only chance. I've had so many. God has given me grace, so He gives us all grace. You know, we don't deserve it. And the last couple times, I tell you, when I got knocked down, you know, I try to tell them, it's like a split second. It's that quick before you know it, you're on relapse road. And I do believe the further away you get from it, the more time you're in treatment. I think that's a big factor. I think that's why this has always been a 9-month program, because you need that. You can't change years and years of a lifestyle in, you know, a month. I tried 3 times, and you know, this Ndtc is the only place that I've actually got true treatment, and it's all through Jesus Christ. It's all through Jesus Christ. And I think, you know, another thing here too is, I mean, Doc, with me, it's kind of like you have to fall in love with Jesus. You have to. Just like we fall in love with worldly desires, you know, you've got to have that, and that's been a process for me. But to me, I know that if I continue to just put Him first, that, you know, He's going to guide me.
Sure.
And it's everything, guys. I mean, I know Doctor spoke on, you know, it's not just, you know, I don't want to just get sober. I want to be the man God made me. You know, it's spiritual, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's physical, it's all those things. You have to work on all those things. You can't just say, okay, well, now I've given myself to the Lord, so He's going to take care of it. That's kind of what I thought. You have to do your part. Yeah. He'll always do His part, but you have to do your part. And you can't do it halfway. I've heard Doc say too, you can't live your life for Jesus Christ and say, well, I might look at a little pornography, or I might, you know, believe me, I struggle with these things. You know, I smoke. You know, I am no saint, but I'm working on it. You know, these are things I'm trying to address. You know, you can't just say I live for Jesus Christ, but yet, you know, I'm going to go gamble every other week. You know, it just doesn't work. And that's the battle. And it's those things that are gonna eventually lead us back to where we were, which is a terrible, the closest I could explain it to you, it's like on my last relapse, it was fun for about 2 weeks, and then it was just that, it went right back to the terrible cycle. It's basically the closest thing to hell on earth. If you haven't been through it, God bless you, you don't want to, you don't even want to understand it. But it's the closest thing to hell on earth, I truly believe it. And I don't wish it on anyone. What else was I gonna say?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, oh, is there a time on
Yeah,
that?
please.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make this, well, I was just gonna say, you know, and I'm trying to live for Jesus Christ, and I keep in mind the eternal reward. Okay, what little problems I have to deal with today, the way I keep it all in check is I think of the eternal reward, which is being with Jesus Christ when we leave this place. So we are going to leave this place.
Right.
So what little things that I might have to deal with, or big, you know, I sleep pretty good at night now, knowing that, you know what, I'm putting it in His hands. You know, and just basically, you know, God said He'd never leave us, He'd never forsake us, and I believe that I'm living proof. Because the only reason I'm here is because He picked me up. Because the last time I wasn't able to get up, I lost all hope, and ended up in the hospital very sick. Could have died, and within a few days I was back at Ndtc sitting in the chapel, and it was just by me saying it was offered, and I said, you know, let's do it, and God gave me that grace once again. So I'm just, you know, we all need to encourage each other. You know, we get so many different opinions. I'm almost done. And that's what I've noticed, though. You know, we're going to have those days where we need encouragement. But when we're having the better days, we need to all encourage each other. You know, and I see it with the men. We're all there for each other. And, you know, that's what it's about. And I'm trying to. I want to carry that on when I move on with my life. You know, we're going to have those days, but, you know, that's our purpose. You know, we're here to help one another. We need one another. And I just want to say, you know, God bless you guys. Thanks for listening. And I guess I'm done, man. Okay.